Part 2 of Catherine Paiz's book Dolores is out now, and I just finished reading chapters 1 and 2, so let's recap them. And this part of the book is set up where it has two different perspectives throughout the book. It has Igor's side of the story and her side of the story. So in chapter 1, Igor tells us about how he met Catherine, and they met at a retreat, and the very first day he saw her walking through the cafeteria, and he said he was instantly drawn to her. He felt some sort of connection even though he had never met her before, and she pretty much left an impression on him that moment. And then later on he met her brother Ryan, and he didn't know that they were related, but they hit it off really well. And then later that day they started the ceremony, and during the ceremony all the women were on one side and the men were on the other side, and he said that he instantly saw Catherine and he just couldn't stop looking at her. He was in awe. He said that not only was he physically attracted to her, but there was something about her soul that was beautiful, that she had an essence and an aura to her that was unexplainable. And so after the ceremony he went to this resting room where people went to rest and meditate, and he saw her from across the room and she was meditating. And so during his meditation he said he felt this very strong urge to bring her water because he felt that she was very thirsty, and he ended up bringing her water and placing it by her side. And so the next morning he saw that Catherine and Ryan were together, and he was almost thinking that they were a couple because of how comfortable they felt around each other. And later that afternoon he ended up smoking hapa, which I guess is like a traditional tobacco blend in the Amazonian culture. And during their smoking session he found out that Ryan and Catherine were siblings, and so he ended up telling the brother right then and there, I love her. And so after that he ended up meeting Ryan and Catherine's father, who was also at the retreat, and he said that him and William had a moment where William just hugged him, and he also felt a strong connection to William. So he felt like he had already met Ryan and William at some point in his life, even though they had never met before up until this retreat. Later that day Catherine introduced herself formally, and he found out that she was married and had 3 kids. She left out the part that she was separated from Austin, and so he immediately thought, how do I even have a chance with her when she's married? But deep down he knew that it was going to work out, and he left on the 3rd day of the retreat. Meanwhile, Catherine, her brother, and her dad were going to stay another day and a half. He drove back to Rio, and the next morning he went to his tattoo shop to work as he normally does, but he couldn't stop thinking about her. So he drove back to the retreat, which was like almost 2 hours away, and he got back just in time for the next ceremony to begin. And at some point during the ceremony he ended up going back to the resting room, and he saw Catherine there, and this time it was just them two in the resting room. And all of a sudden he gets up and he tells her, I need to talk to you. And she tells him, I already know what you have to say. And he said, you do? And she said, yes. And she hands him over a ring, and he tells her, I love you so much. And she responds saying, I love you too. And later on he said he received a message from his ancestors that told him that he was going to marry her. And so he ends up pulling Catherine aside to ask her to take a walk with him. And during that time that they have together, he tells her that he's going to marry her. And all she says is, I know. And that was his side of the story.